Hey guys, it's me. Obviously, I am still in Spain, hence the background and hopefully the slightly darker tan. I have not long been back from the beach, so my hair is a little bit sandy and salty. You can almost hear it crunch through the video. But I obviously did that other video the other day. It took a lot longer than what I realised it would, and I lost a whole day of the holiday. So I won't be doing such a long, lengthy video for this one with all of the media that I love to do. I will be back doing normal content very soon when I return home, which is sadly, well, it's coming around a lot quicker than what I thought it would. But for now, there's a story that's come out and I feel like I'm in the twilight zone. Obviously, I'm just in Spain, but I'm reading it. And honestly, I just want to hear your opinions on this one because it's honestly baffled me. You wouldn't think that I could be baffled by the couple in Montecito any more than what we have been over the past few years. But every so often, a story comes out, and this is multiple stories, so I do believe that there is truth to it. And this is to do with Harry is apparently naturally heartbroken over the fact that he wasn't invited to Troop in the Colour. Now, normally we have seen, no matter what Harry and Meghan have done, the King and the Queen before she passed, they left it very, that's my water bottle cracking, they left it very open in a way where they basically said any big events that Harry and Meghan were more than welcome to come. And Harry and Meghan play games all the time. We've seen it with Balmoral, with Christmas. Are they coming? Are they not coming? Nobody cares. But this time, I think Harry's triggered because he didn't get an open invite to attend Troop in the Colour. Now, obviously, he would have been dumped in with the lesser known royals. Well, not the senior royals. Lesser known's the wrong wording. But he wouldn't have been up on the balcony taking a starring role. But he would have been invited to at least be in the background. But it would seem that Charles has had enough. I wouldn't be surprised if Harry's final offers completely dried up after the last time that Harry came to the UK, because he tried to manipulate the public using the media. And what he did was he was coming over for the Invictus and he told his spokesperson told the media that the King said that he was too busy to see him. Not only was he too busy to see him, there was an extra dig in there about the King had basically other priorities, too many commitments, but Harry graciously understood. Now, as it turned out, that wasn't true. Harry had been invited to stay at one of the royal residences. It's still up in the air whether it was Buckingham Palace or St James's Palace. But either way, by being in one of the royal compounds, then Charles potentially would have been, I guess, more available to fit in seeing Harry in between his, I don't know, maybe even his cancer treatment, but definitely his diary. And Harry refused. He turned down the offer. He said that he was going to stay in a hotel. So obviously this is a completely different narrative to what Harry used his spokesperson to give to the public. It was basically saying that poor Harry was willing to see his father, but the King had said, or courtiers had said, no, he's too busy to see him, blah, blah, blah. And we can tell, obviously, this is all part of Harry's continuous victim narrative. So why on earth would his family invite him? Why on earth would they even risk him coming and selling stories and just generally trying to manipulate the media to turn against the royal family again? Now, some of the stories that have come out with various media outlets are saying that Harry wants to come to repair his relationship with his father and his brother because it was seeing Catherine at Troop in the Colour and it broke his heart because he wanted to be there for her and support her. And I'm thinking to myself, this is when the Twilight Zone comes into it. What support could Harry give Catherine? He's allowed his wife to publicly attack her. He publicly attacked her. He has allowed Omen Scobie with Endgame to name Catherine as the royal racist. Obviously that came out, I think it was November last year. We know Catherine went in for major abdominal surgery in the January of this year. And then obviously we found out a few months later that she had cancer. Do you think Harry at any point, if he really cared about his sister-in-law, he would have called off his attack dog and he would have told the public through their spokesperson, which they're quite clearly capable of doing over the most petty and trivial things, and he would have turned around and said, This isn't true. It was a private conversation. It wasn't Catherine. It wasn't my father. This is completely, incorrect. We know that Harry has called out a couple of things to do with what Omid has said. I think it was in Finding Freedom, to do with Meghan's security training, because Omid had reported that Meghan had received security training, and of course that went against their victim narratives. But obviously, I think that Harry and Meghan gave those names with their blessing to be released in the Dutch version of Endgame. But for him to be saying that he's coming over because he wants to basically end the feud and he's upset, he's hurt, and it's just this continuous rinse and repeat of Harry being a victim all the time. And I just honestly cannot see how he can't understand at this point why his family would not want him anywhere near them. I think in truth it's got more to do with the fact that Harry is now quickly realising that he is becoming irrelevant with Meghan. Everything that they have tried to do and to create, it's falling apart at the seams. We know that Netflix, I'm sorry, I cannot believe that the two shows, the elitist polo one and then of course the cooking show, are going to be successful in the slightest. I don't think that they're going to be any sort of big ratings winners for Netflix where they think, ooh, let's give them a few more million and keep them on for longer. I think that they just lurch from one disaster to the next, as you know. And obviously Meghan has been throwing everything at the wall. Many people are saying, well, how can she be launching this RO website when she's not got any products ready, any staff ready? It was just done as an attention grab at the Diana Awards to get one up on Prince William. But for Harry to be saying that he's going to come over, some of the stories do vary. Some are saying that Harry wants to come over and make amends, but others are saying he will not be forgotten. Harry is not going to let his brother and his father cast him out like he's insignificant. And I'm like, you quit. You had the Freedom Flight. You told us in a 6-part Wine-a-thon Netflix documentary. You had 2 tell-alls with Oprah. We've had countless TV interviews to do with Spare in itself. We've had, obviously, podcasts. We've had continuous stories coming from Harry and Meghan, their camp, their friends, their sources, speaking on behalf of them for the last few years. And it's always been about how they barely escaped from the awful, evil, racist institute with their lives. And now all of a sudden we're expected to believe that Harry's gone all fatal attraction. I'm not going to be ignored, Dan. And he's saying this, which I do believe that he's got a bee in his bonnet because he didn't get that invite. The chances are Harry would have still turned it down or tried to manipulate it some way to make him come across as a victim. Perhaps the invite would have only been extended to Harry and not to Meghan. Or he could have used it saying, I can't come because of my security again, emotional blackmail, blah, blah, blah. But the royal family aren't playing games with him anymore. And a lot of the storylines are naturally trying to blame Prince William. And I read an article earlier that it said that Prince William is now ruling the royal family with an iron fist. He stepped into the role that Prince Philip very much had for many, many, many decades. And we did see, as soon as Philip started taking a back step, more and more disasters started arriving and marrying into that family. But of course, William will be making strong decisions to keep Harry away from the royals. He's got to protect his children, he's got to protect his wife. Why on earth would he want his brother to come over, create more drama, more stress? We know that Harry and Meghan have lied so many times, and in the few occasions that we can't actually say, hey, that was a lie, it's only because we can't prove it, because we weren't in the room. He uses the media and the public as weapons. They use their fan base, which are little more than attack dogs, to attack his family. It's gone beyond a disagreement between siblings. It's gone beyond just a little bit of a family feud and an argument because they didn't like his wife. Of course, stuff like that happens across many families all the time. But I find this honestly truly shocking with Harry. I know I shouldn't be shocked that he still can't see that he is the problem. What he and Meghan have done is the problem. And for the fact that he's now still trying to say, I'm the one that's heartbroken, I'm the one that's going to be cut off after everything he's done to his grandparents, his father, his brother, Catherine, and to say Catherine is part of the reason when he saw her, it made him get very emotional at Troopin and he wants to support her. This is a man, as I said, that allowed Meghan to completely trash her. I do think the stories are true where Meghan was very unkind to Princess Charlotte and bullied her. Let's call it what it is, that she bullied a 3-year-old little girl. I think there's way too many stories about Meghan being awful to fellow human beings, people that she's met in her life, the ghosting, the way she's treated people, she's snobby, she looks down her nose at everyone. I do believe that she was absolutely vile to Catherine. And then for Harry to then put all of this stuff in spare, like Netflix and Oprah were not enough. And with everything that Catherine's gone through, Prince William, they may compare him to Prince Philip. It's not a negative. Maybe that family needs someone that is going to have a bit more of a backbone. But people are giving way too much credit for it just being Prince William. King Charles, I believe, is the one that pulled Frogmore Cottage because he said, don't attack Camilla. And I also think that King Charles is the one that decided that he didn't want to invite Harry to his birthday parade. He didn't want Harry. They do not want him anywhere near their families anymore because he just brings toxic and negative drama. He doesn't need Meghan to do it anymore. As I said, the last couple of times he's come over, he had the opportunity to see the King. He was in there for about 20 minutes, give or take, and then he did an interview the next day, much like he did the Queen a couple of years before when he came over for Invictus. So Harry is not stopping selling his family out for a paycheck or for some good footage or for interviews. And then, as I said at the beginning of the video, the fact is last time the King didn't say he couldn't see him. He just said, yes, you can stay at one of the palaces and I can try and reshuffle things. It's obviously a lot easier for Charles to be walking over to a palace residence in between his busy schedule than what it would be some of the stories that King Charles is apparently now going to fly over to America. Please, as if. But yes, Harry is still playing the victim. And as I said, I feel like I'm in a twilight zone. But I just wanted to check back in with you guys. It's been a while really, but I will be back to putting out my normal content soon. And I just really wanted to hear your thoughts on this whole narrative that's now being pushed. So do you think that this is just the media pushing it, or do you think that Harry has thrown his toys out of the pram because he finally did not get an invite? They're cutting off their oxygen supply, which many people said is the only way to deal with narcissists. And I think Harry has thrown a wobbler, but I think that he's using Catherine's name as a way to try and manipulate people. And I just think that Prince William is going to have a wall of steel around his wife, around his children. And Harry has shown that even if he came over to see Prince William, you know, he's got either a knife or a microphone behind his back. You wouldn't want someone like that in your life. And it does come to a point where you can love your family, you can't necessarily choose your family, but you can choose if you let them into your life. And I think that Harry has become so toxic now that he has definitely, for the meantime, burnt every single bridge with every single member of his family. So guys, love to hear your thoughts. I will be back with you soon. And yeah, that's it for me. I'm off now to enjoy the last few days of the holiday. So take care and I'll see you soon. Bye.